friends, Crystal Novanway here with a little look at our Phoenix real estate market this week, and dang it! Just when we thought we would start to see our supply levels come up, no! All hopes are dashed. Why? Well, because our new listing counts are down. Those numbers are flattening out, and we're not seeing the number of new listings rise like we were hoping would happen, and so our active listing counts are starting to drop a little bit. It's not a trend. That's not the direction we want to see things going in. In a nutshell, just so you can kind of do the math here, we're putting about 2,100 new listings on the market every week, and we're putting like 2,300 listings under contract each week. You see, we're taking away more than we're putting in. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's particularly challenging for people who are looking in that under $500,000 price range, because although 57% of our inventory is in that price range, 73% of our sales are in that price range. So again, not the way we need it to be balancing out. The good news is we've reached some sort of plateau. It's really looking that way the second week in a row that the Cromford Market Index has leveled off. So what does that mean? Does it mean prices are going to come down? Absolutely not. It does not mean that at all. Not when the number is that high. That's not what we're going to see, but we might start to see some things shifting. Our demand is continuing to go down. At the rate it's dropping, by next month, we're probably going to be right around 100 for the entire Phoenix metro area, and there's already cities that are at 100 or less. So demand is dropping. Supply level has hit, I think, rock bottom. I mean, it inches down a little bit each week, but it just can't get much lower around that 22 mark, 22% of our normal inventory. But we really do need to see more listings come on board in order to start leveling things off. So that's kind of where we are right now. But if demand does continue to decline, and maybe some sellers can put their houses on the market, maybe we'll start to see that inventory level rise. Fun fact, 49% of all the homes sold in the last month sold for more than the list price. So what are you supposed to do? Like, how much you need to throw in to get a house anyway? You know, we've all heard the horror stories of somebody throwing $50,000 at the deal and still not getting the house. Is that really where we're at? So I decided to take a closer look at 3 neighborhoods just to see what was happening as comparing list price with sale price. 3 different types of neighborhoods, starting with Dobson Ranch, a community of homes mostly built in the 70s and 80s. Median home price in Dobson Ranch is $430,000, and 76% of those homes in Dobson Ranch sold for over the listing price by a median amount of $16,000. In other words, half the overbids were less than $16,000 and half the overbids were over $16,000. The highest was $45,100 over the listing price. Next up, Power Ranch, a community of homes mostly built in the 2000s. Median home price in Power Ranch is $443,500 right now. 57% of those homes sold for over the asking price by a median amount of $24,500. And what I thought was really interesting about Power Ranch was that 36% of the homes sold for exactly the listing price. Many of those with 0 days on the market, meaning they were probably sold before they hit the market. And even more interestingly, they had the same listing agent and buyer's agent, a little double-ender deal there, which is always an interesting sort of situation. Not saying it's good or bad, just interesting. Next up, Eastmark, a community of homes built in about the 2015s and earlier. There was new building going on there. I took the new builds out for this analysis and just looked at resales. A median sale price right now in Eastmark for resale is $525,000, and 74% of the homes sold in Eastmark in the last month sold for more than listing price by a median amount of $20,000. The highest overbid was $70,100. I did also take a look at the variation, just to see how close to that median amount you'd have to be to really have a chance. In Dobson Ranch, most of those bids were within $10,000 of that median, $16,000. And in Power Ranch and Eastmark, there was a $20,000 variation, roughly speaking, from that median amount, so a lot more variation. Overall, people are bidding about 2 to 3% over the listing price to get the home. It's a little rule of thumb there. But the homes that are getting like these huge bids are usually pretty nice homes with a lot of curb appeal, really nice backyards, and very important, excellent marketing. These homes are well photographed, they show really well. So if you are listing your home, that is something to keep in mind if you want to get this top dollar, is you do have to actually market the home and you have to know how to manage these sales. I noticed that some of them that got lower bids or lower prices, even many of those below the asking price, fell out of contract and had to go back in with a second or third buyer. So those are really important things to consider when you're listing your home right now, because really this is like your chance to cash in, right? You want to get every dollar you can in this hot market. You don't want to leave anything on the table. One of the homes that really caught my attention in Power Ranch because it was so poorly marketed and actually sold for $15,000 below the listing price was being sold by an iBuyer. And even though it sold for $15,000 below the original listing price, it was still $10,000 more than they paid the guy they bought the house from. So there you go. So that's all I've got for you this week. If you have any questions or comments, if you'd like for me to take a look at your neighborhood and see what the difference is between list price and sell prices, kind of get a feeling of where prices are headed. I mean, we know they're headed up, but like how fast? Well, you know where to find me, Kristen here in Phoenix.com. That's where. Go out there and make it a beautiful day.